Okay. All right. So, hello everyone. Welcome to another episode of Autonomous Birth. Today we have Olenthia. Olenthia is another one of our Black mamas from Black Mamas Meet. You never know what she's gonna say, which I'm glad to see. I'm scared to see, but very excited to see what she's gonna say today. But welcome, Olenthia. I'm very excited to hear your stories today. How you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm good, hungry, like I said, but very
Yeah,
good.
to be expected.
Um, so to start, if you can just tell us about yourself, like your name, where you at, whatever you want to tell us, and then we'll go from there.
My name is Olenthia. I was raised in Seattle. I came out to Baltimore to go to Morgan State University. Graduated from there, bachelor's in sociology, 2011. Found out I was pregnant with twins, so that's the only reason why I'm still out here because I wasn't trying to take them from their dad. So, otherwise, I'll be back home in Seattle. But I just got approved for my nonprofit organization, which is a learning and recreation center called Sanwa Roots. Basically, Sanwa Roots is San is to go back to come from, Ra, sun god roots, your roots where you come from, planted in the ground. So to get back to our roots, Sanwa Roots. I just got approved for it, so y'all should see something popping at least within the next year and a half. We should be on the table, on the grid. I have three boys, 11-year-old twins, like I said, and then my little man right here, 6 month old. Um, my mama came out here, first grandkid, so she came out here, so she's out here with me. My dad's out here with me. I got a nice little village, cool, laid back person. I laugh at anything and everything. Easy to talk to, easy to communicate with,
Not
all of
lying.
that. So that's a little bit about me, but I mean, of course, if you had like more questions, I can dig more into who I am. But that's
Oh, we gonna do
the gist of who
that.
I am.
Okay. So to start, tell me about your pregnant. Well, okay, we're gonna do the twins first, and then we're gonna come back to soul. So with the twins, tell me about if you remember. I said it like it was like long ago, but my memory sucks. So
It
it wasn't long ago at all.
11
It's
years
not.
gap is long enough for me.
Well, what do you remember about your pregnancy with the twins? How was
I
it?
was I was young. I was fresh out of college. So summer babies were pregnant during the summertime. So I was able to be out, do what I want to do. I was outside, I was walking and going different places. So that pregnancy was good. I was eating anything, everything underneath the sun. My go-to food was tacos. Like I used to literally go to Lexington Market, and there was this little place in the corner, like authentic tacos, and I would go there and get like 6 tacos and just kill three of them right there, two on the walk, and then like try to save one. But I'm like, never worked out. So that pregnancy was cool. It was easy. No morning sickness. Nothing. No Braxton Hicks. I mean, that I went through that like a breeze.
With
I had to
twins
get a
too?
C-section. Yeah, I had to get a C-section because one of the twins was breech. They tried to turn him, but he just wouldn't turn. So they ended up having to cut me open. Had a C-section with them. Um, they were quiet babies. Like, you know what I'm saying? Fed them. They only cried when they was hungry, pee to poop. Other than that, they was cool. As it was a breeze. They got older. They started walking and running. So they started going their separate ways. I try to pick one up, the other one running this way. I put him down, go get the other one. He get up, run away. So I'm like, come on, man. Like, so, and then as they
Just
got
keeping you on
older,
your
those
toes.
toes, man, shoot, I wanted to cut them buds off for a minute. Like, come get these kids. Like, come get these kids. So, but that birthday friend was good. It was, that was my first, so that was a positive experience with those two. But they're 11 years old now. They got their own personality. You know, they don't dress how I used to dress. So, cause I keep my kids, I keep them buttoned up. You know what I'm saying? Little benders and bow tie. You know what I'm saying? But Daryl had they be fitted and booted. I'm telling you, they do. So that was the twins. This bad boy right here. Oh my gosh. When they say the older you get, tough on your body. Oh my God. I didn't want to do nothing. I just want to lay around on the bed and just eat. I'm a vegan now, so I would just eat just cucumbers and bell peppers, a bunch of salads, some quinoa, stuff here and there. Then I found out I could have, vegan tacos, so I just started making a bunch of vegetables and put it in a little tortilla, whatever you call it. A lot of mangoes. I ate a lot of mangoes and watermelon with him. Um, I was trying to do a home birth with my son. Just go around. I was a little bit more educated in the sense of giving the hospital birth compared to a home birth, which I'm not knocking anyone, not knocking anything, but as I got older, I got more aware of my body, more conscious of it. So I wanted to do a home birth. Um, it got to he came at 40 weeks, but it got towards I think that week of the baby shower. I started feeling a little bit different. He wasn't moving as much, but I just figured like, he don't got no space in there. He's like, I'm ready to go. Get me out. And then a couple of days later, I started feeling weird. Contact, our doula. What's up, doula? Yeah, I don't want to say her name if I can't, but contact the doula. And I told her what was going on, and then what's it called? The poop. Let's start with the M.
My mic was muted. My bad. Meconium.
Meconium. Yes, the meconium. That started coming out, and I was like, that's not the mucus plug. So the meconium started coming out. And she was like, go to the hospital. Went to the hospital, went in, they started doing a little test, and they was like, we need to take him out now, or it's gonna be too late. He's not gonna make it. And I didn't have a good response in the hospital because the doctor I had was just I'm just gonna say he was a straight asshole. He was an asshole. He didn't know how to communicate with me. So, it almost got to a point where I wasn't even gonna have it and I was about to just check myself out and go. But my cousin's a nurse, and he was telling me about it. He's like, no, you need to do this, do this. So I ended up having an emergency C section with him, and it was scary because the umbilical cord had a blockage. So he wasn't getting oxygen to his brain. So he ended up having some brain damage. Um, he ended up having a seizure, so he had to get flown to the hospital, to one of the children's hospital. And he was on the breathing machine, the ventilator, the EGG things for about like a week, breathing tube and all of that. And, praise the God or whoever you guys worship, but praise the God, he came through and he was able to get off of everything like within a week, and every day he was just progressing. So that was a very tough one for me. I had some fault in it my own. I just kept thinking like, was it me? Is it my fault? Did I ignore this? Da, 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 but at the end of the day, everything happens in its own way, and God's gonna have you be quiet. He's gonna make you sit down, and he's gonna have you be quiet. And this was my eye awakening. So this is my soldier right here. He's doing good. We go see the neurologist, and they're like, "Oh my gosh, I wasn't expecting him to do this and do that." At the end of the day, God has the last say. So this was my tough one right here. Yeah, but I still didn't have no morning sickness with him, but it was just more just heavy on my body. Like I couldn't walk. I'm wobbling at 3 months. I'm just like, ugh, oh God. Like people looking at me like my mom, like, what's wrong with you? I'm pregnant. That's what's wrong with me. Like the father looking at me like, are you okay? You need this. I'm like, I don't know. I'm just
No, I'm not okay.
right. Go give me a hummus wrap. Go give me a hummus wrap and a smoothie. I'll be good. But that was a big difference. But once again, it was the age
Mm-hmm.
gap too. So it's
Mm-hmm.
my story for these three little men that I have.
That it really is like the older you get. It's only 2 years between these two, but I felt like shit basically. My niece one day she said the same thing. My niece was like, "Why are you walking like that?" I was like, "Well, I do have a whole human
A
on my
whole
daggone pelvis."
right,
Like, what do you
look
mean?
right there, like right. There's the pelvic
Right.
ring of the baby, like right there. I know I'm put it right on it.
Like that's why I'm walking like that. Um, but yeah, so I can imagine 11 years. It probably was a lot different because I was like, it's only been 2 years. Why is it like? And I think the fact that I had a toddler too, so it made it harder to take a nap when I wanted to take a nap.
Yeah.
Why did you just rub his head like that? He rubbed his head for good luck. What the fuck?
I was able to nap because I had that 11-year gap, so I was able to sleep when I wanted to
You
sleep.
got your naps in.
They was cooking, they cooking on their own. What I'm saying? You know, go pick you something to eat. They could talk, they could tell me what they want. So but but I realized when he sleeps, I sleep. I shut that down. He's sleeping, I'm sleeping. And you know what I'm saying? You sleeping for 3 hours, I'm sleeping for 3 hours. People like, you should be cleaning I'm not cleaning, cooking, nothing. Cause soon as he wake up, he goes on my titty. No, I'm not. I'm not cooking, cleaning, nothing. No, I'm gonna feed this baby and sleep with this baby. That's what I'm gonna do. So, so napping. Yeah, I try to get those in whenever he's sleeping. I'm sleeping.
All right. If there's one thing I'm gonna do, I'm taking a nap
And eat. Don't forget that
because
part.
that's it. But if we don't nap, we just gonna be delirious, and then what good are we to anybody? So,
Nobody. No.
but okay, so I'm gonna start with the boys because I did have. You want to be fussy today, huh?
Where are you going?
Be quiet. Any other day, baby. Okay. So with the boys, I know you said you ended up having a C-section, but can you kind of tell me like, kind of like, so what was your birthing team like? What was that experience like? How long were you in labor? Who was there? All that
With the
fun
boys?
stuff.
Oh my
The oldest.
gosh. So okay. So with the boys, I was um when I went into labor, my water broke. When my water broke, I was like, I was looking down because I had just came from using the bathroom. So when I got up and the water broke, I was like, well, that's not pee. And I'm like, babe. I'm like, I'm sorry, but I got water all over your floor. I'm young, 25. Like, I got water all over your floor. I apologize. He's like, it's cool. Your water broke. Let's go. I'm like, call my mama, get the bag. Let's go. So call my mama. Mama meet us at the hospital. I get to the hospital. They got us in the room. Um, and they give me this medicine for pain. It starts with a D. Oh my gosh. I was sweating, itching. I was hot. Oh, I was so bothered. They talking about, oh, you can't drink, you can't eat. So my mama, sticking me ice cubes and stuff. You know what I'm saying? To help it, because I'm angry at this point. I'm mad at this point because I don't understand why I'm itching, hot, and sweating. Like none of this is making sense to me. And they're like, oh, it's the medicine. It's gonna pass. Man, that thing felt like it lasted forever. So I went in about 8 o'clock. I was in labor for about 2 hours because the boys didn't come to about 10:40 ish. So 2 hours and change like that. They didn't come to like 10:40 ish. Um, the team was awesome. Like that birth experience was great. It was beautiful. I ended up having two doctors. I had two doctors. When they went in to cut me open, I had got the epidural, so I didn't feel anything. While I just felt my body just moving back and forth like this. You just moving back and forth like this. You like, what's going on down there? Oh, and then they drug you up. So I'm talking recklessly, just talking nonsense. Um, but they went in. I promise you, it felt like because they didn't have the skirt the curt part when they had was sold. They had the curtain. So I couldn't see. But with the twins, I was able to see everything. And I promise you, they was like elbows deep in. It was just like "Ugh," like this. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I mean, both of them. And they just slang the babies out, just phew, phew. Like that's how I felt like they came out. Okay, once again, I'm on drugs, but it just like phew, phew. They were like, oh, the baby. So that was cool. The doctor was awesome. They was respectful. Once I got into the room, they cleaned him up. I was able to see the baby. Now, when Joseph came out, he had to get oxygen, which is funny because in the womb he was taking up everything. He was eating the food. He was taking up everything from Joshua. Joshua was underway. You know what I'm saying? They were like, you need to take this, take that, so the baby can make it, because the other baby's taking this from him. He took everything. So when Joshua came out, he wasn't breathing, so they had to give him oxygen. Joshua, so he stayed in the NICU unit for about maybe 2 days. The other one, Joshua, he had to stay in there for a week. He was on a feed tube because he was underweight, so they wanted to make sure that he could eat before he came home and everything. So he was on a feed tube. Um, and what we did was we would bring Joseph up to the hospital, and we would have him lay in the bedside with Joshua. And, that twin connection, and that literally helped he start getting. Dude, come on, man. That twin connection, like, we'll lay them in and they start holding hands, and they start getting close
Oh.
to each other. Like, that's real. And he came home. He came home within a week, and I mean, you look at them now, you would even think that they were premature NICU babies. Like they came at 34 weeks. They came at 34 weeks. So in their eyes, that's premature. Um. So yeah, so he had to get the oxygen. Brought both of them home when they came home. It was a wrap after that. It was good. Man, my milk, I was breastfeeding them, but I would literally they would eat at the same time. So I would have two babies in football just on my breast, like one on this side, one on the other side, just sucking me dry, right? Just sucking me dry. And then when they got a little bit older, like 2 or 3 months, one would eat and then the other would sleep. And as soon as he get done eating and I put him down, the other one would wake up. So now I'm feeding him. There was never no break in between with these two. It was never a break. Never. Oh. Oh. So I wasn't eating right. I wasn't eating properly. I wasn't drinking enough water. My milk dried up at 6 months. So I was kind of upset with that. So I had to, give him Similac. Uh, it is what it is. Um, but that birthing team was awesome. This baby, besides our doula, who was just beautiful through the whole thing, just eased my mind. I just, made me comfortable in my own skin. It was great. But once I got to that hospital and he started talking to me reckless, it was just I started getting real stressed, and it was a stressful. That was stressful. That was. Um, but that's the
I'm getting
difference.
stressed just thinking about it, girl. I see
Oh, bro, I'm just
it.
thinking. I just see him in my head. That doctor, just the way he was talking, I just want to slap him silly a couple times. When Pootie Tang when he pulled out the belt or brought it back. I don't know if he was that's what I want to do to that doctor. It's like, oh, for that Dave Chappelle, the smack for Rick James.
I could not stand you, dude.
I want to snap out of here. So
He probably deserved it.
yeah, he did, man. He did. I'm trying to ask him a question. He was like, "Well, how I know is because I've been doing this for 20 years." What. That's not what I asked you first. I don't care how long
It's
you do
not.
it. That's not what I asked you. So, yeah, he was a whole asshole.
I feel like they be forgetting. Like, yes, I know you do this every day and you see a million mothers every day, but granted, this wasn't your first time. I don't do this every day. I had a baby once 11 years ago. I'm asking you a question now and I want to answer right now. I don't give a fuck what you did for 20 years. But,
You delivered a baby 20 minutes ago. I'm a different
right.
person.
They be so damn arrogant and just like, just answer the question. Just answer it. Or act
Right.
like you have a heart. Act like I'm a person, please. That's all I want from you.
Yeah,
But
they look at us black women, period, that we just can deal with anything and everything. So nothing even matters to us. Like, don't kill me on
Yeah.
the table, please.
Kind of what you just said, black women. I meant to ask you this earlier. Prior to getting pregnant, or even after getting pregnant, did you ever like have a moment where you like didn't trust the anything that happened where you felt like you couldn't trust the medical field or anything like that?
So with the boys, the older ones, no. With my new one, yes. So I went on an all natural. I went all natural about 2 years ago. It'll be about 2.5, 3 years. Oh, coming up in June. And I went on an all natural because when I went to the doctor, I would have this sharp pain in my abdominal area. And when I went to the doctor, I had to go to like 3 different doctors. Um, and I went to the emergency room. When I went to the emergency room, I had to take the test, P test, blood test, all that. And the doctor literally came in here and said to me, she was like, well, we don't know what's going on, but if we had to guess, you have fibroid. Yes. Literally, she said, if we had to
Weren't you guessing?
guess. And I felt like she emphasized on the guess part to let you know, look, I'm just throwing this out there, throwing it in the wind.
I'm
Like,
just
what? You
spitballing.
know your field. You're right. If we had to guess, you have fibroid. I'm like, well, why would you think I have fibroids? She was like, because it's highly amongst African American women as yourself. So you just assuming because I'm black and I'm a woman that I got fibroids. You're not gonna do no extra tests. You're not gonna figure out anything was going on. So I had to go to a whole other doctor. I went to 3 different doctors. I went to a whole other doctor, did some more tests, and come to find out my adrenaline gland was pushing out too much hormone. And what was causing it was the IUD that I had. I had an IUD in.
Mm-hmm.
So that was causing the pain, was pushing out too much hormones. So I got the IUD removed. Boom. So that was one. And then my mom had surgery and they had punctured her colon, wrapped her up, sent her home. And my mom kept feeling, my mom had a very strong pain tolerance level. And one day I go in her room and she's on her all fours and she's just rocking back and forth. And I'm like, what is wrong? She's like, I don't know. This pain is this. We go back to the hospital and come to find out she pierced her colon. She has, the fecal matter just draining inside out of her in her intestines inside of her body. So, and they're gonna be like, well, that we didn't do it. Who else did it?
Who else did it? I ain't go there punch my own damn colon.
You feel me? It wasn't puncture when you was in there before you came.
Right.
So I was like, so that was number 2. And then number 3, the topper was my big mom. I rest her soul. I miss her so much. My dad called me, was like, your big mom, she's peeing gray. I said, peeing gray? He said, yeah, her pee is gray. I said, well, take her to the hospital. Take her to the doctor. So we take her to the doctor, and the doctor says, oh, well, it's because of what you're eating. And he come home and tell me that. I said, Daddy, ain't nothing you gonna eat gonna turn your pee gray.
Right.
It might turn your poop gray, but it ain't turning your pee gray. So I said, take her to a different doctor, go get a second opinion. There's something going on. So he goes back to the same doctor. Doctor said the same thing. I said, Dad, I told you to take her somewhere else. So by the time he gets her to another doctor, they get another doctor and they say she has cancer, pancreas cancer. And she's in stage 4. She's in stage 4 at this point. So, so Big Ma is stage 4 cancer, and there's no coming back from it. I found out too late. I had the herbs to give to her, but it was too late. By the time I had got the herbs to give to her, she had passed. She came home, and she passed in her sleep at the house. So, that one right there, that took me out. I was like, fuck doctors, fuck the hospital, fuck westernized medicine. Y'all don't do shit. Y'all just there for the money. You don't even know how to treat us. So I just went to this whole circle with the line. Like, bump them. I don't care. I started living a holistic life. I started eating right, drinking my herbs. And when I started doing that, my body just, it felt like I shaved off 10 years. I felt like I was back in my 20s. You know what I'm saying? My energy level was up. My skin was glowing. You know what I'm saying? It was completely different. I was drinking my herbs, and so when I was pregnant with the boy, with my last son, when I was pregnant with him, I would go to I would just go to the doctors because I'm on state insurance and I don't got time for them. But like, I don't got time for them to come for me. So I was like, let me just put these doctor visits in. I'm gonna listen to what y'all say, but I ain't gonna do nothing there. So I didn't get no ultrasound. I didn't get none of that. And they was like, well, if you don't get no ultrasound, then what are you here for? Who, first of all, who are you talking
You don't
to?
have to get one.
You know what I'm saying? I don't have to do what you want me to do.
Right.
I can, you know what I'm saying? At this point, I was on such a spiritual high. I was in tune with my body. Like, I felt my body. So it was like, and then when I would say, I'll let you run tests. You can run tests. You know what I'm saying? If you need to ease your mind. So when they would run tests, before the tests come back, they was like, so if you, we do this diabetes test, we give you, some type of sugar drink or some shit. I'm like, I don't intake sugar. I don't want none of that. They were like,
Right.
but we have to do it to see if you have diabetes. I don't have diabetes. I'm telling you right now, I
You
don't have
don't have to do
diabetes.
it.
You don't need to do it. I don't have diabetes. First of all, you can draw blood for anything and everything. That's number one. So when they tell you we have to do this, we have to do that to find out, no, you don't. My blood will tell you anything and everything that you need to know, and you can draw the blood. So after they tried to tell me 3 different things, they finally came at the end, was like, okay, well, we can draw your blood. I know you can. Go, here's your blood. I'll give them the blood sample. Like, you ain't about to.
Shit.
You
That was your attitude. Take this fucking blood.
take this fucking
Like I
blood.
said, I ain't got diabetes.
Fucking come at me like, you know what I'm saying? And then when my test come back, and they got nothing to say. They don't got nothing to say. And so it come back and they be like, well, what are you doing? I'm eating right. I'm drinking my herbs. And I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. They like, your numbers are excellent. This is the third. But there's no buts to it. You guys are always trying to find something. You always trying to find something. So it's like, don't use that one. This is not clean. It's not sterilized. So that was those 3 was the main reason why I said I'm not doing it. So I only go to the doctor if I have to. Praise the Lord Jesus. The boys ain't had no broken bones. The baby ain't had none broken. So boom, I take him to his checkups. So they are on record because I don't got time for child support. I mean, not child support, but child services knocking on my door. I don't know how it works. Cause I'm on state insurance. I don't know how it works, but I don't got time for them knocking on my door. But like, you endangering the baby, So he don't got his shots. He's 6 months and he don't got no shots. I don't plan on giving him any shots or anything like that. So, uh, so that was why I don't trust. I just don't trust them. Like, I just can't. You know what I'm saying? And then like if you go in and telling them, well, I did it, they'll be like, oh, it's that, without even doing the right research. You know what I'm saying? Or they'll just assume. They just assume that it's this and it's that. So I just don't
They
got
don't
time.
listen either.
They don't listen.
Like how you saying like you in tune with your body?
Yeah.
Like most times, if I know something wrong, like I know something wrong, you ain't gonna tell me how my body works. I've been living in it for these many years.
Thank
I'm telling
you.
you something wrong with it, and they were like, "Oh no, it's nothing." I'm like, okay, I'll be back in a week.
Right.
If I come back.
If I come back, because you just
And you
gonna say
gonna
and tell
see
me the
that I was
same
right.
thing. Yeah.
Right.
But they ain't gonna let you know you right though. They ain't gonna let you know you right.
Of course not. They were like, it wasn't present last week.
Right.
Bullshit like that.
Well, this just popped up. No, it's been there.
But also, side note, kind of to Olenthia's point for listeners or whatever, like how she said they were trying to make her take the glucose test and she didn't want to do it. There's always an alternative.
Mm-hmm.
You can ask them the alternative. If they are a lovely person, they will tell you that. But some of them are not lovely people. So you may have to do the research yourself.
Mm-hmm.
As Olenthia said, like just take my blood because it'll be there.
Mm-hmm.
But okay, what was you just talking about? Oh, you was talking about okay. I be losing my train of thought, especially fucking around with you. You be on
I'm
tangents.
everywhere. I'm everywhere. I'm gonna let you know that right now. I'll go from
I
one to
know.
this way.
Um, damn it.
Sorry.
What was I say? No, you're fine. Oh, okay. With Soul. So with Soul, can you tell me the birthing story about that a little bit? I know you mentioned the meconium, and the doctor. So more so, I just have questions because you kind of already gave it to me.
Yeah.
So the doctor that you encountered, the one that you say was a butt face, was that
Hmm.
like your? That wasn't your normal doctor. That was just whoever was at the hospital.
Yeah. So I was at my fiance house that weekend because he I ain't gonna put what he do because I don't know who all listens to this and I don't got time for they be like I know that nigga, but
I hate you. I hate that I just snorted. Oh my god.
I'm sorry. So he do what he do. So I went. We went on the weekend, and I wasn't really expecting to have Soul. So he lives further from where I'm at. So I had to go to a totally different hospital. Than I was.
Mm-hmm.
Mind you, I wasn't planning on having a hospital birth. I was planning on
Right.
having a home birth. Like I was gonna be all on the outside with Mama Water, Mama Sun, Mama Earth, all that. You know what I'm saying? I had the tent
In the
ready
field.
in the field. We were going back. We had the field grass ready. You know what I'm saying? Feet in the grass. You know what I'm saying? Had the towel.
You cannot say back like back. I hate you
Oh
so much right now. I hate you so much.
yeah. You let me know if you want back up in this.
I don't think he wants back in this.
Okay.
We gonna leave back.
Back is possible, ladies. But anyway.
I cannot right now. But the field, you was gonna have the baby in the
We was
field.
gonna be in the field, so that was my natural. I was having a natural birth outside. You know what I'm saying? But it didn't work that way. It didn't work that way. So I had to go to the hospital, and that's why I ended up having an emergency C-section. So this doctor I've never seen in my life, never talked to before, never crossed paths, anything like that. So yeah, he was totally new to me and my body, my child, my family, everything.
Okay, so that's why it was like you don't
Yeah.
like puppies. Okay.
Mhm.
Um. So I know you mentioned with Soul he had to fly out. So Did they fly you out too, or like you had to stay at the hospital because you had a C-section? How did
N-
that work?
no, so I stayed at the hospital that I gave birth at. They released me. I think the third. I think you ought to get 3 days, which personally I believe. See, sorry, that's me going off topic, but I believe it should be longer, especially if you just had a C-section. You know what I'm saying? You just cut through 5 layers of skin, and you want me to get up and walk somewhere? Like what? Anyways, after I was released from there, I went straight to the hospital where they flew him. So they flew him right away. He had to, as soon as he came out, um, they had to. Was he breathing when he came out? I think he said. I think Babe said he was breathing, but they took him over to the table and they was doing something on the table. And I'm so sorry, I can't remember what happened.
Mm-hmm.
But it got to a point when they took him to his room. They noticed that he was going like this. His leg was jerking. Was jerking like that. Um, and it was constantly. It kept doing it, and then so they had to fly him to the hospital. When they flew him to the hospital, they put the EGG on him, which is the little wires that they put on your brain, on your head. Um, and it came back that he was having minor seizures. Um, so they put him on. He was on 3 different seizure medicine. They tried one, it wouldn't stop. The second one obviously didn't stop, so they ended up putting him on 3 different seizure medicine, antibiotics as well, and then like I said, the breathing tube, the ventilator. He had all that hooked up. Uh, so yeah, so I had to. So once they released me, I was there every day. I didn't go home. I stayed with him. And they was just now they was beautiful. This is at Children's Nationals because it was either they was like we could fly you to Children's National in DC or we could fly you to the Children's Hospital at University of Maryland. I was like, well, let me do University of Maryland because I live out in that area and I'll be able to go see him and be there. So when they went to do University of Maryland, they was like they don't have no space. So they went to Children's National. Children's National had space. Exactly. Right. But I mean, that was a blessing in the work because Children's National is really ranked number one in everything. They got the best neurologist team and the best number one NIC unit. So I was actually, I think in my opinion, that was God saying, no, we're gonna go this route. We're gonna go here. So he got the best care possible. So yeah, I was there every day, and that staff was so awesome. They was beautiful. They was genuine. You know, I had questions. They asked it. I mean, answered it. It was just a beautiful experience there. So, like, I Georgia National DC all the way, 100. Fucks with it all day. Recommendations there.
I got to rewind. Sorry, because I am jumping around the place. The listeners are probably like, they just jumping back and forth, but that's how our brain works. You said with the boys, they didn't have a curtain up during your C-section?
They did not have a curtain up. I was able to see
saw
it.
Everything?
Mm-hmm. I saw it all.
Why did they do that to you?
I don't know. But see, mind you, I'm more like, I'm on my back anyway, so you know, I'm like I have to lift up to see. So once I started getting all the movements, I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And that's when I looked up.
You did it to yourself.
I did it to myself. Yeah.
My ass is like, I ain't raising my neck at all until y'all stitch this shit up. I ain't looking. I can just imagine all the blood.
I saw it all. It was so they had the curtains. I couldn't even see the doctor. That's how high they had it up. Like I couldn't even see the doctor. I'm telling Babe, I'm like, Babe, go see what's going on. He's like, I can't. Yes, you can. The fuck you do? You can't. I'm sorry, cussing.
Nobody want to see that but you, girl.
You right, but look, I just see what's going on. So, you know what I'm saying?
We are back with Olenthia. So yesterday, her old ass phone overheated. Cut us off. God. It cut us off mid recording. I think we were talking about how she had the stomach to look at her own organs being put out of her body. So that's what kind of we were talking about. But we will finish what we were talking about. And I forgot to open something up. How are you today, Olenthia?
I am doing good, girl. I'm doing good. How are you doing?
I'm fine, aside from the fact that both of these children won't get off of me. What
that part.
All right. So I know we had talked about the C-section, and I know yesterday at some point, because I do have some notes want to say. At some point, you said you were blaming yourself for the C-section at one point and how things had turned out for Soul, and you had to get over that. So how did you get over that?
I just prayed. To be honest, I prayed every day. In the hospital, when I was holding him, just pray for forgiveness and pray for understanding. And I left it at his feet. You know how they say you pray about it and leave it at the feet. And I left it there. So, I was able to just let it take its course. And I mean, I'm confident. I'm fine right now about it. You know, so that's how I was able to reassure myself. I'll say.
And you also mentioned how the meconium came out. So like it was like you wiped and you saw his poop, basically. That's like very graphic, but also I'm intrigued. So.
Yes, I do love pictures and everything. And I was like up close and all. Like, what is this? What is that? Oh no! So I went to the bathroom because pregnant, you peeing every 30 seconds, anyways. So I went to the bathroom, and when I peed, it felt different. So I looked in the toilet, and it literally looked like poop, not like pellets, but like once again we're gonna do graphic. You know when you have like diarrhea, and then at the end it's like it's just like splatter. It looked like splatter. but it looked like a line, like a traveling like a liquid line. I was just like, and it was brownish, like goldish brownish color. So I was a little concerned because I've never seen it before, and I never happened before. So that right there was when I sent that to doula. She was like, "Nah," she's like, "Go to the hospital." She was like,
Mhm.
That's not the mucus plug. That's not blood. Like, nah." So I got all the water. When we had spoke with his neurologist team, they was like, nothing could have caused this. Like they was like, we're not sure, or it could have been a week before, it could have been a month before. So it was like nothing at the last minute or nothing that you could have did could have caused this. So that was also a little bit of reassurance on my end too, because I was trying to play the blame game. But they couldn't. They was like, we don't know when this happened or when it started, but they was like, just know that nothing that you did could have caused this, you know,
Right.
this high concern. So it was like, all right, but so that's what it looked like, and that's why I was like, that's why she was like, just go now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
I'm
like,
glad
I'm
they
not
did reassure
moving.
you that it wasn't your fault.
Yeah, yes, girl.
Okay, little baby.
Being a
All
mom
right,
already
so
is hard.
yeah, it's like you're right because it's kind of like if you have a with Ramo, I didn't have the greatest birth experience. I never knew like birth trauma existed. I guess that's the word for it. I realized after that, and then it's kind of like this is your introduction into motherhood, and it's like god dang.
Yes.
So yes, I'm glad they at least were like, this is not your fault. It's just happened because that could have been like you said, you could have been more blaming yourself.
Hmm.
Um, so a little bit about postpartum. Oh no, oh yeah, a little bit about postpartum. Like, what was that like for you? Because I like to say that people say labor and delivery is the hard part, but labor and delivery is usually over within 48 hours. Well, depending on the
Yeah.
person.
Right.
Postpartum lasts a minute. So, how was that for
Yeah.
you?
Oh, so I didn't deal with that with the twins. My first pregnancy, I didn't deal with that with them. The second one, it took me a while to notice that I actually was going through the postpartum depression, and it was it was hard, but I wouldn't say it was too hard because I have an awesome village. I have an awesome team, a very supporting team. But just this is still something that I went through, and that whatever anyone said or did, it couldn't change how I was feeling inside. So I had noticed that there would be times when the baby would cry, and I would be staring out into like a blank space because like the first maybe month and a half, they say it was colic, but he was crying a lot. He was fussy. He wouldn't go to sleep, and it's like I'm already waking up every 20 minutes to feed you. Then I'm pumping, and it's like I gotta pump, feed, and warm the bottle. It was too much for me, and so I think I noticed probably about a month that I was going through the depression. I wasn't soaking a lot. Um, so I think, like I said, a month and a half. That's when I realized I was like, you know what, I need to be around more support. And that's when I came back home and stayed with my mom, and I was able to see her. She was here more often. Um, Relieved me from a lot of mom duties. When she came home from work, she'll take him. That would give me time to myself to, relax, actually enjoy a bath, and not have to worry about, the stress that I was already feeling. Because, like I said, even though they reassured me about it not being my fault, I'm still thinking, like, oh man, are you extra fussy because of what you went through? And if I should have called or went in earlier, I should have listened. Da, 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 da. So, um, it was just more shocking than anything. I just, I mean, I can't describe it no more in detail than that, or more or less than that, because it was something new to me, and it took me a while to realize that I was even going through. So
Mhm.
it's more big up to the fact that I was able to go. and have a real support team to not be in such a damp and so long.
Like you knew to seek the help for yourself, which is great because it's
I
hard to ask for help.
Exactly. Yes,
Mm-hmm.
and it's hard to even realize or notice that it's something different about
Mm-hmm.
you. You know, because you don't want to admit to it. It's like, nah, I'm not. I'm not depressed.
Okay.
I'm
Good.
good. You know, but
You're a whole new person when you have a baby, and I feel like
uh,
sometimes it's hard for you to realize who that person is, as well as for the people around you, so they can't help you. Like we was talking about that the other day. I think it's
yeah,
hard to
you
tell
literally
somebody
lose
what you need when you
yourself.
don't know when you need.
Yes, you literally lose yourself. 'Cause it's just so much going in at one time. You know, so much going at one time. Even though
Mm-hmm.
I did it before, you know, I'm a mom all over again. It's still you're still gonna have something new because this is a different child, a different
Mm-hmm.
time. It's always gonna be something different. So, girl, just blessed and highly favored that I turned to him in the need. He was able to comfort me.
Okay, truly.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I know you mentioned that you was breastfeeding. How did that go? Did you feel like you were supported there, or like properly informed? Because sometimes they just tell you like go home and feed the baby, and it's like, well, there's more to it than that.
Right.
How do I give him the latch right? Like, can you give me more information? So, did you feel prepared to breastfeed and everything?
I did. Like this team, when I had the twins, I did not have a team like that. I gave birth to the boys in Baltimore City downtown. But with like like the doula said, I was out there in the county with fuck it, I was out there with the white people. You know what I'm saying? So I had all of it. So I had the lactation consultant coming in, every other day while we was there, show me how to latch, show me if my boobs get hard, what to do. And so I had enough information to take home and write a book. That's how good the team was. So I felt confident coming home breastfeeding him. I felt confident in if he were to choke or anything like that, how to, hold a little CPR, all of that. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it's good.
Um,
And my flow, I'm just blessed that I'm still flowing. I'm still
mm,
flowing. I'm not flowing.
only you would say that like that,
I,
but yes.
my left titty is literally bigger than the right titty. Like it sits up more. The right titty just like like loose skin, just hanging around. Right. I call it the right one. I call it the snack titty, and the left one I call it the meal titty. You know what I'm saying? Like if I want to make him go quiet, I'm like, here, take the snack titty, just suck on it for a little bit. And you help him the milk flow. You know what I'm saying? He coming out like IV drop is like doo, doo, doo. For the left titty be flowing like a river. So oh my God, our
I hate
body
you.
just our body is just so much. Like, oh my
Yeah, they're incredible.
God. Yeah,
Not Snack City though.
city girl.
So I know you said with the twins, I think you said you stopped breathing. I said breathing. What the hell? Stop breastfeeding around 6 months. Do you think that was, if you would have been like prepared like you were with Soul, that would have been different for you?
Get off this couch, cat. No, to be honest, I think he was scratching my furniture, girl. I was my diet back then. I mean, at the end of the day, everybody body's different. Everybody intake differently. Some women are blessed to flow continuously with no problem. Some can't breastfeed at all. So I'm just happy that I'm able to even give him that supply because that's the best for them. But with the boys, I wasn't drinking enough water. I wasn't eating right. I didn't keep myself active. And plus, I had twins, so they was literally sucking on both titties at the same time. They was titty. I would
Oh,
go
you did
come,
that.
girl, had the motherfuckers in a football stand like this, just one right here, one on the other way. I would just be sitting there, just as they just drain me dry. you know, so
Oh,
with them, yeah, I just think it was the lack of the water in my what I was intaking was so. I drink water like every day. I drink it every day. I eat better. So my body is more energized. When the baby goes to sleep, I go to sleep. I don't get shit done. You know what I'm saying? People like,
You keeping the child alive. That's enough. You
there
keeping
you
three
go.
children alive, actually.
That part even better. So it's the difference as far as with the when it comes with the milk flow. So I'm just like I said, 6 months in, I'm great that I'm still flowing, regardless.
this you just remind me of that TikTok. I need to stay up for TikTok, but it's a TikTok that say like when your body's working hard to transfer this candy into breast milk for this baby. Yeah, I drink water, but I also
I
drink
think what they
some
talking about.
milkshakes. Shake Shakes got me in a damn chokehold right now, and I don't know why, but
I can't
it's
do it no
delicious.
more. I can't even do it no more because I
You don't
haven't
do dairy,
intake
right?
daily. Yeah, so I
Oh
can't.
yeah.
Man, I did a milkshake the other day. I was like, "What is up?" I'm not even gonna tell you what happened. No, I'm just gonna say it's tore
Please,
me up. We're gonna leave it right there. And then I was like,
you
"Oh
did.
hell
They
no,
have
not again."
non-dairy milkshakes.
Not where I went. I went to Five Guys. I
Oh
went to
yeah, you definitely wasn't getting no dairy. What were you thinking?
my boys, man. They still eat meat. I'm transitioning them slowly. So I was like, if you gonna eat meat, I'm gonna give you like the best burger. You know what I'm saying? Take you to Five Guys, got a
Understandable.
good burger. You know what I'm saying? And then they give you them
A,
peanuts.
a great mother. That's what you are. My ass would be like, I don't want you to eat meat. Let's go to McDonald's. Get you to stop eating this shit. I'm
That part.
like, I'm gonna give you the worst of the worst.
My kid would turn around and be like, well, I'll just eat the chicken.
You know what? Okay, so obviously after, you get through that stage, you just left in motherhood. At this point we just mothers forever, I guess. Oh duh. But how did things change? Like you know how I said your life changes completely. Like your friendships, your body, your relationship with your partner. Do you feel like any of that changed? Oh, I'm sure it did. So how did it change? I guess is more so the question. And how did you
um,
adjust?
I would say what changed with the I mean some people I mean just straight up it's like we're still who we are when it comes to my partner. We're still who we are. Um I mean don't really like there's time where I don't really want to be touched. Um when it comes to like intimacy, for the first like 3 months of the baby life, I'm like, no, don't touch me. I don't know. I just had a C-section on top of that. So they tell you, no sex for 6 weeks or whatever. I dumb ass tried it. Fuck no. Never again. Never again. I promise you, it literally felt like a hammer was just like bam, bam, bam. And I was like, oh hell no, this is not what it's supposed to feel like. Shut this shit down. Get out. Get out. Don't come back. Get out. So we had to shut that down. So it took me a
Abort
while
mission.
to get like abort mission, right? Abort. No, it took me a minute to want to even engage with him like that.
Hmm.
So that part kind of changed, but some people are different. Some like, fuck that, give it to me now. And, we pumping, baby still fresh out the pussy, you know what I'm saying? You
I had
you know, but me, I was like, nah, hell nah, don't touch me. But he was understanding, so it's not like he's beating down my door, beating down my back, like, hey, ain't none of that.
yeah.
When I'm ready. So I mean, I'm not saying that we haven't, but I'm just saying it's not like it was when I was pregnant. First of all, when I was pregnant, we was getting that shit in. But when I wasn't pregnant, it was different too. We was also getting it in. But now it's like, slide down. I'll let you know when I'm ready. When it comes to like activity, because he's not taking a bottle, like he's not taking a bottle. I'm talking about he's working on a sippy cup. I can't really go out, so I can like maybe leave him for like an hour and a half too before he's hungry again. Um, so wherever I go, he's right there with me. I don't fuck with people like that anyway, so it doesn't even matter. I'm sorry, I'm just cussing up the store. Let me try not to cuss. I don't mess with people like that anyway, so I stay to myself. Um,
In the little intro,
how
I
about
put I cuss a lot. So if you can't take cursing, don't listen to this podcast because it is what
there
it
we
is.
go. There we go. And as mom, I believe we should be able to cuss.
Right.
Do
That's
it
how fucking I release.
right. I watched this one meme. This lady sat down to eat, and then her kids came tap on her shoulder, and she's like, "Whatever do you want?" I was like, like, damn, can I eat? Can I piss? Can I shower? Like, damn, leave me alone.
You can't do shit. You can't do. When I had before I had my kids, I had a dog, and the dog would follow me into the bathroom. And I was like, "Can I poop alone?" But I would much rather have that dog coming in the bathroom with me right now than the damn toddler who will sit there and try to have a conversation with me. Well, I'm trying shit. Just like,
Right.
you don't want to smell this. You don't want to be around. Get out. Like, but no, they just always fucking there, which is fine, to an extent.
But look, I can't have a conversation and poop. You know what I'm saying? I can't. You know what I'm saying? I gotta sit. I gotta concentrate. You talking to me, my whole flow stops. I'm just like,
Ma'am, you really do need peace and quiet, apparently.
yeah, I need to keep it quiet. I need to concentrate. Leave me alone. But that so that was like the difference that's been like far as my partner. But like I say, he's very supporting. So I
Mm-hmm.
don't have to like I used to actually I had felt guilty at one point in time, not being as intimate as we used to. I felt, like one time he was like try a little something and I was like, no, you know, give him a quick stiff real quick, like little stiff arm back up. And he was like, all right. And then I'm like, man, should I have did that? Oh man, I don't want him to feel like I don't want him. And then some click said, girl, you just had a baby.
Yeah.
Breastfeeding this baby on your hip when you don't, you know what I'm saying? Every time you walk, so it's like I had to bring myself back and just, realize like, hey, it's,
Mm-hmm.
it's nothing the same. Nothing is the same. So you just gotta fit in where you fit in and try to bring back your normalcy as much as possible.
I think the whole, how they say, like, you going to let your body heal for 6 weeks. I feel like for women and for men, they just think, oh, we can have sex after 6 weeks. And it's like, fuck people up because they just like, I should be able to do this. And it's like, maybe not, though. Maybe you had a more traumatic birth than the standard. Or maybe you just touched out because having somebody on your nipple 24/7 is a lot.
Preach,
Like, I feel like my nipple about to fall off, number one. And
preach.
two, I just don't want to be touched after that because I'm being
Yeah,
touched all the time. And it does suck to an extent, but I just think this whole 6 weeks is very misleading.
yeah, it is. It
Because for
is.
some people, they don't make it. And for some people, they make it 6 weeks plus a lot more because they're just not ready.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
but, um,
Oh, okay, do it. And I
but I was
already
about to
feel
say,
like when I get the C-section, I already feel like they just throw your shit back up in there. You know what I'm saying? Just throw everything back in there. Now you gotta wait for
like,
your
it'll get back
organs.
to where it
Then it
belongs.
go back. Yeah, I swear with the boys, cause I had a C-section with them. With them, I felt like I wasn't back to normal till like a year later. I swear, like a year later, I felt like my last organ just dropped back in place. I was like, oh, I feel normal again. Right? You know?
Like, oh, my kidney's back where it's supposed to be. you know,
I was like, oh, okay, I feel good. All right, let's do this.
but yeah, I did. Did you feel like when I was after I had the baby, the C-section, I would lay down sometimes on my stomach, like not right away, obviously, but like when everything was healed, and I would feel like it was like pulling or like something just was not right, and I was just like, did they put me back together right? Because we don't know. It's not like they went back in there and checked, like, okay, everything's back where it's supposed to be, and maybe our
Yeah.
bodies are just good enough that they know where to go, but it don't make
That
sense to
last
me.
part, at the end of the day, our body, what I'm saying? Our body is an intelligence on its own. Body
No,
first.
okay.
Okay, go. Oh,
Um,
the feeling. No, you're absolutely right. Like when I lay down, I feel like it's like like,
Mm-hmm.
like I felt like my body parts was just like moving around in there. Like I just didn't feel the same at all. That's just
Yes.
crazy.
And I meant to ask you this before, but I know the boys were older. I mean, I guess they were 11. But like, how did they react when Soul came home?
Oh my God. They first of all, they was the biggest help when I was pregnant. You know what I'm saying? I literally didn't have to lift a finger when I was pregnant. When it came to anyone, the boys, the dad, my mom, I was good. So when Soul came home, they instantly was in his face. I'm like, y'all need to back up, fresh baby. Like you can't be breathing on him like that. So
Mm-hmm.
probably like maybe around like 2 months, I let them like actually hold because Soul came out holding it. He came out holding his neck up first of all. Even though he was sedated like the first 2 weeks of his life, he was sedated. So he wasn't really moving. So once he came off of all that medication, it took a while for his body to react and to get back to normal. So that's that. But when he came home, like I said, I let the boys, they pick him up like to this day. Right now, he's 6 months. They'll come and get him. They hang out with him, and they come in from like a friend house or something. Oh my gosh, my phone is getting hot again. I need a new phone. I need a new phone. This is a Samsung 8. Everybody, I need a straight new phone.
Well, as you all heard, Olenthia's phone overheated again. Uh, we're going to work on getting her a new one. But in the meantime, thank you for listening. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube, Spotify, and or Apple Podcasts. And for any mothers that would like to share your story, feel free to fill out the form in the description. It's in the podcast description, YouTube description, wherever you're watching this on or listening to it on. And also follow us on Instagram. Thank you for listening.